This impeachment process is driving me to drink.
I mean,
or more.
Seriously.
It's driving me to drink more,
exactly.
I should say. I was already driven to drink. So one of our listeners has written a book. It's a beautiful book. The presentation is just really exquisite.
It's stunning.
Yeah, I note production values. We get sent so many books, a number of them by listeners, I should point out. But I note the production values of different books. I was very proud of the look of Clowns to the left of me, Jokers to the right, more so than some of my other books. So when this arrived, I thought, this is impressive. This interests me.
We both took note of it. It's got a heft to it. It looks good. It's like, what's this?
Right. But what really caught my eye was the letter that accompanied the book, which had a personal note, TC, which said this: I've enclosed a book plate instead of signing the book. You can keep it or chuck it. I know between Michael's Marie Kondo obsession and alleged propensity to re-gift, it may be better left blank.
Alleged
which is just fabulous.
Propensity to re-gift is the best phraseology I've ever heard.
So I may gift it. I may keep it. The thing is,
think about it.
The book plate is signed to both of us.
As well it should be.
There couldn't be a one for you, one for me book plate.
Oh my goodness! I'm sure she will send you a different book plate.
I may white you out. No disrespect, but I have a catalog of of all these books here that are.
Can't it be signed to both of us? Is that a problem?
It increases the odds that it gets condoed.
I mean, what do I say to that? How about I take it? I will take the book and the book plate.
I didn't tell you the title of the book.
Please tell us.
Wine for Normal People. Wine for Normal People.
Love it.
Which is kind of the brand of Elizabeth Schneider, because she has a website of that name and a very popular podcast of that name, and now a book of that name. Anyway, this is Elizabeth Schneider. Hi, Elizabeth.
Hey, this is such an honor. I can't believe I'm talking to you guys.
You couldn't have sent 2 book plates? Really? Come on.
I already offered to send another one to
Oh, you
TC.
did?
Yeah, she's going to get another book.
Oh,
but I mean,
beautiful.
Again, I know you're going to condo it, so.
I may not. I mean, I may leave this on the coffee table. It's that nice.
Well, that is a huge honor, and in addition, it's also kind of useful. It's got a lot of info in there.
It really does, and it's very approachable, which I like. Now, I have a couple of basic questions because drinking is an important subject to me. You might not believe this, but we've broken so many wine glasses in my house over the years that right now our stemware are, do you know the ball, the canning glasses?
Yeah, mason jars.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Okay, so those are the water glasses in my house, in our house.
Okay,
and
that's totally cool. That's hip.
But they make a smaller version of them, and candidly, we drink wine out of the smaller version of the ball mason glasses.
You're
not digging it.
No, I'm not digging it. Okay, so I did this enormous article on Glassware, which sounds like it would be super fun, but we were tasting the same wine out of 15 glasses every night for like 4 weeks. And I'm telling you, it makes a difference. It makes a huge difference. So I have these glasses that are Spiegelau, which are not even that popular anymore because Riedel, which is the big wine glass producer, bought them and then kind of was like, oh, this is our D brand. But they're still available, and I'm telling you, they're pretty indestructible. They bounce sometimes, but they're still really good quality.
Say it again. What's the name?
Spiegelau.
Geez, how do you spell that?
Spielgau.
Okay. And do I need a different glass for red or white?
I would say yes, but that's it. You don't need 25 million glasses because they make one for every varietal now, because what else are they going to do? How else are they going to make money except to deceive the public into saying, you need a separate one for Riesling and Sauvignon Blanc and Chardonnay and some other wine that you're never going to drink.
Elizabeth, I don't have a wine cave of the sort that Mayor Pete was in Silicon Valley, according to the recent debate brouhaha. But I do have a small enclosure in my home for wine. Okay, it's a small enclosure for wine.
You have a wine cellar. Just say it. I have a wine cellar. For God's sake.
That doesn't sound so normal. Oh, it's a wine cellar.
What? Whoa! What about you is normal? Continue, please. Wine cellar.
So okay. I go into this compact area in our basement where we store wine, And
Okay.
I pull out two.
that has a door and is climate controlled.
Climate control, of course, right? And it's probably cataloged in inventory too. Because it's Michael, right?
By alphabet, yes.
Well,
of course.
what I do is
But producer, vintage, all of that.
No. From Wine Spectator, I do like to get those little labels that you can affix right over the stem of the bottle, and all I do is I write the date.
Okay.
So in this case, I retrieved 2 bottles of Pinot Noir that were 4 years old, given to me by my wife for Christmas 4 years ago, and both of them had gone south.
Where were they from? Because that makes a big difference.
They were a Pinot Noir from Northern California.
Okay.
I was really surprised. Like 4 years, you get these people who, I have this very old bottle of wine. I'd be afraid to uncork it.
Well, not everything is meant to age. So I don't know what happened with those. It sounds like wine. Think about all the things that wine goes through to get to you.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to go through. It's got to be picked, and then it's got to be stomped or crushed, and then it goes through a chemical process to change it. So some things can go wrong, but usually it's the transportation that winds up killing it, because vibration can be a problem, light can be a problem, which is why cellars are dark, temperature, all of that kind of stuff. So if in the transportation of those bottles they went bad, that's possible. I would totally call the producer or send them an email, and they'll send you new bottles. Oh, absolutely. Nobody is going to let you have that experience.
Oh my God, I would never
send you new bottles.
I would never think to do that.
Oh, totally do it. Just like if, you should always, I'll give you an example. Last night I was out in Raleigh, North Carolina, where I know you're going to be really soon.
Raleigh, Durham, sure.
Yes, I live in Raleigh, and they brought me a bottle of Pinot Noir from Santa Barbara, and it was hot. It was too warm, so I asked for a wine chiller to cool it down because I didn't like the temperature of it. Temperature makes a huge difference. You gotta ask. Because
I'm not bashful. I believe me.
Yes,
it would never occur to me that I've got a 4-year-old bottle of Pinot Noir and it's gone bad, and that I would. Okay, that's a really good tip. Here's another question. By the way, wine for normal people. Elizabeth Schneider is a certified sommelier. How'd I do with that pronunciation?
You always do really well with it, because
Okay.
you mention it more than you think, and I'm always really excited that you know how to say that so well.
You are also a certified specialist of wine, MBA, and self-described normal person. So why when we were in Tuscany, by now 5 summers ago, could we drink unbelievable amounts of Italian red wine and feel great the next day, and yet at home could never get away with that?
That's the question everyone asks. So one is, you're there and you're eating a lot of food with the wine, because in Italy and in France, wine is not a drink, it's a food. So if you think back on your experiences when you go to Italy, and I love Italy, I love Italian wine, there's food around all the time. So and there's water, there's a ton of water. So that's one of the things. The other thing is, by the way, sometimes, especially the Italians, love to modify things for the American market, because they think that we like big, bold wines. And so they'll let the grapes hang a little longer. They'll make sure that they mix in some grapes that have a little more power. So that's some of the dirty secrets of the wine industry, of which there are many.
I'm a big fan of any Sauvignon Blanc from New Zealand.
Delicious.
If like Kim Crawford is the sort of go-to, but anything, if I slide my finger, I really am so unsophisticated when it comes to these things. But if I'm eating fish and they hand me a wine list, I slide my finger down the list. If it says New Zealand and Sauvignon Blanc, I'll take it, regardless of the particular vineyard.
Okay. So I don't think that's a great idea. But
why not?
You got it. Well, producer matters a lot, right? So these mass brands, there's industrial wine. So Kim Crawford, even though it's a really good standby, and if you're at a place that doesn't have a good wine selection, that's a good one to go for. There's so much nuance between producers, and some of the smaller producers make really interesting stuff. So I don't think there's any problem with going for the wine that you like, although I would tell you to try things like Verdejo from Spain, or try Sancerre, which is Sauvignon Blanc from the Loire Valley, or Bordeaux, white Bordeaux, which has a huge proportion of Sauvignon Blanc. Try other things. I'm always about don't just always drink what you like, because you got to push yourself. The wine world is huge, and there's so many alternatives. But I think it's important to try producers that you haven't heard of, and especially the smaller producers are just, I think that's where it's at. I love the small producers.
Well,
they make really interesting wine.
I've graduated from the days when I used to just buy by label. That's how I once got a whole case of Red Zeppelin.
That's right.
What is wrong with you, Michael?
It was so cool. Red
was
Zeppelin.
it good?
Huh?
Was it good?
No.
Did you drink it?
Oh, I'm sure I did. It's been years. I said I've matured.
I'm a sucker for bottles too. I get it.
For labels.
Yeah, I mean
they know that. The wine
of course
industry
they do.
That. They do it on purpose.
Yeah.
Hey, Elizabeth, how did you get started in this? What's the origin of your interest?
Okay, so I was working in technology in Boston, and I was kind of bored, and I was tired of going into wine shops and feeling like an idiot. I was like, hey, I am a fairly smart person. I can learn this stuff. Why are these people being so nasty to me every time I walk into the wine shop? And it's terrifying. It is a terrifying experience. All the products look the same. It's these huge walls of wine. It was confusing. I didn't even know. I felt bad about myself. So I took a wine class. And then fast forward, moved to St. John, was a waitress, yada, yada, applied to business school from there. Went to UNC for business school, got recruited for the big hulking winery. I don't reveal who it is. Learned the dirty secrets of the wine industry, and then realized, you know what, I don't want to do that. I want to help people understand wine better. So that's how the podcast, and, I was lucky enough to get an agent to sign me early on, and all of that. And it's just become a thing, because people want somebody who's friendly and who doesn't talk about wine in a way that makes them feel dumb. And I was that person, so I decided to try to help other people who are like me explore the world of wine, because it's so fascinating.
In my little alcove storage area, I have a number of old bottles of port. Yeah, yep. I was born in 1962, so I have 2 or 3 port from 1962, and they look so. I really have them because they look so neat on the shelf. They're very aged, and they're like props on a Hollywood set. I wonder what I'm going to find if and when I ever open them.
Well, if they've been stored well, I think you're going to find some really delicious wine in there, because that ages really well. Everything doesn't have the same aging potential, but port has the magic formula, which is that it has great acidity. It has sugar, a little bit of sugar in it, which is a good preservative, and high, it's got high or medium tannin, that Malsaran quality, and that is all liquid gold for it's a great formula for aging. So the most ageable wines are usually the sweet wines, and port is up there. You could age that sucker for 100 years if it's a good quality wine.
Oh, hang on a second. The person to whom you signed half the book plate has a question.
Hi, Elizabeth. Yes, thank you. All right. So we have house pours in our house. So we have a red and a white that we always have. And we always, when we're going out, we'll buy another bottle and try
house
that.
Pours? Wait, you're laughing at me for a wine cellar? What's a house pour? Joey, I'll have the house pour.
Yeah, the standby.
The house pour.
No. But this is not snobby at all. Like literally. No, because listen to me when I tell you this. The red wine that we like is called Marietta Old Vine Red. I will not buy it if it's above like $11 a bottle, and it's on their 69th vintage now or whatever it is, and we started in the 20s. If we like that, what else should we try? Because we try all kinds of other reds, but we always come back to the Marietta Old Vine Red.
Well, you got to tell me what you like about it, and then I can recommend.
I don't like anything oaky. I can't stand the oakiness. Yeah. I like a big sort of fruity wine, but not that oaky. Whenever I see oaky or vanilla-ish, I think that's not going to be good.
Well, that means that the wine's pretty manipulated. The way that people in Europe use oak, for instance, is really different from how we use it here. Here you hear producers talk about their spice rack and their this and that. And then in Bordeaux and in other places in Italy, they use oak to stabilize color and to stabilize tannin, because grapes have tannin and oak has tannin. Oak tannin's a little calmer than grape tannin, so they use it to kind of calm the grape tannin. So you won't find as oaky a wine out of Europe as you will generally,
Oh,
as
interesting.
you will in the U.S. Have you looked at stuff from Spain? Like, have you tried like garnacha? There's like a $9 garnacha that's really fantastic. It's kind of fruity.
I'm going to find that.
It doesn't have any oak.
I'm going to find that. I just wrote that down. And then
okay, I'm going to send you. I'll send you like a couple producer names,
and
so
then
you can have that in your store.
With the whole Spain-Portugal thing, our daughter spent a summer in Portugal, and everybody was drinking Vino Verde. This was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So she emailed me and was like, "You must try this. You will love it." Okay. Elizabeth, my hand to God, I have drunk more bottles of Vino Verde since that day.
Awesome.
I love it. Love it. Can't get enough. Can drink a whole bottle in one sitting. Easy. Knock it down.
Do you want to discuss with Elizabeth before we say so long your coloration issue?
I should ask her that. So lately,
I can't wait to hear how this gets presented. Go ahead.
So Elizabeth, lately,
Yes.
Dr. Schneider,
Yes.
this is new in the last year. I have one drink, and I'm serious, one drink, and I flush like I'm sunburned. No, it's embarrassing.
I gotta say, it's hysterical to watch
No,
happen.
it's not.
Yeah,
it's terrible.
The onset is about 30 seconds.
It's terrible.
Oh my gosh! So this is new.
Yes, and I don't know what to do about it.
The same stuff. Are these your same house pours that are causing them?
Okay,
House
great
pours.
question. It's anything. I did it with a Bloody Mary last weekend.
So it's not just wine.
No.
Not
It's
just wine.
Any alcohol.
Huh.
Even a beer?
And you're
Yes.
Wow.
are you eating while you're drinking?
Well, it fades, and it fades when I eat. So, but I prefer to drink first and then eat because it just makes that's more fun. So, anyway, you think about that one.
No, I think the food is going to be food
I
and
think
water
you're probably
is going to be
right.
what you're going to need.
Well, that's better than giving up the drinking altogether, which is, of course, the other option, which is not acceptable.
No, I would not recommend that. That's
Elizabeth, wish you all good things with the book. I may keep it. I may keep it.
Well, I'm sending TC her own copy.
Good, thank God.
And,
please.
so
and then
don't worry.
send me another book plate so that if I decide to hang on to it, I can affix it inside.
You're not very gracious.
I said thank
this.
you. I said thank you very much.
I have been listening to your show pretty much since the beginning. I knew what to expect. I knew Michael was not going to be keeping the book, but maybe he'll
might
re-gift it
surprise
to somebody
you.
who really wants it.
Well, I'll tell you this: the book is beautiful. I will not chuck it. I will not just put it out on the curb. It's really nice, and
good.
either I'm going to give it to someone who will appreciate it, or I may hang on to it for a little while.
Look, Michael, it's funny. There's some funny stuff in there.
I know
Check
that.
it out.
No.
I'm
The
not kidding.
whole time that we've been conversing, I've been flipping through it, and not only is it accessible, but it's so well presented. So it's so attractive. I mean, it's really a nice product. So congratulations.
Well, thank you. I mean, I compare grapes to wolves and dogs. I mean, where else are you going to get that? Seriously.
I love it. Wine for normal people. Wine for normal people. Elizabeth Schneider. Thank you, Elizabeth.
Biggest honor. Thank you so much to both of you.
See ya.